to become Uganda's president, and his official poster was released yesterday. Now, why I'm even having shocks within my speech is because, as I mentioned this tagline, behind the scenes there was someone who was like, oh yes, indeed, that should be it, protecting the gains as we make a qualitative leap into high middle income status. Good morning, my name is Julie Nantabamsi. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Tono. Thank you so much for always watching BBC TV. And if you want to, the number that we always have for any conversation, 0709602592. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you, Julie, and our viewer. Thank you very much for waking up with us this lovely morning. It is a Wednesday, and of course, I would say we are midweek. But if you have someone who really worked and you're sure they have never gotten their benefits, you see, government is stuck with unclaimed retirement benefits to a tune of 160 billion. One served, they retired, they never got their benefits. Because one of the most painful things, I must say, is social security when people are done with work. You know, many people are in offices, but one of the biggest threats is once they leave those offices, the life that comes after when they have retired. Now, if there is some money for you somewhere, it is your retirement benefit, make sure you're able to pick interest in this story, go and find out if you're one of those people and you can get those monies and they can help you. This time comes with a lot of sicknesses. Yes. The body is wearing out. Yes. It comes with a lot of, sometimes you may not have achieved much in your working time. Maybe there's some good to buy a house. Maybe there's some good money for you to start a business because retired but not expired. Well, that is a story that caught my attention yesterday, Julie.
Wow, indeed, and it's pertinent, I must say. It's very important. And many are wearing out in their olden golden days, and the days are not golden because they haven't yet picked up their retirement package, which they should. So follow up on it and have your olden age as gold. Robert, what do we have on the local scene?
Well, President Yoweri Museveni has availed funds for fertilizers, has proposed to avail funds for fertilizers to the farmers in Western region. President said the matter will be addressed in cabinet to ensure that about 200 billion is availed for the cause. This includes 46 billion for tea growers and 152 billion for factories. The president was meeting tea growers and processors in Western region, where he also promised to address the 112 billion debt eating up tea farmers. President Museveni reminded the farmers of wealth creation, especially commercial agriculture. He also proposed an alternative to electricity burden to ensure the stable production in the region. The event attracted leaders including the Ministry of Agriculture, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Themos Tayebwa, among others. The Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, met with leaders of the Kampala City Traders Association, CACITA, over the strike announced by the leaders. Nabanja, who was flagged by the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, the Minister of State for Trade, General Mbasu Mbadi, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi Rujoki, discussed issues affecting traders led by the chairman of CACITA, Issa Sekito. Nabanja, while meeting the traders' leaders, assured them that government will address issues affecting the operations of their businesses. Nabanja said that there are no need for traders to close their shops. The finance minister, Matia Kasaija, said that there is a need to harmonize with the traders for smooth operation. The State Minister for Trade, General Mbadi Mbasu, said that the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives will start holding meetings on a quarterly basis to address the issues as they come up. John Musingus, the Commissioner General of URA, said that after the meeting, traders whose containers were impounded by URA over taxes will not pay penalties, but just pay taxes as assessed. Meanwhile, on behalf of Kasita, the chairperson, Issa Sechito, was optimistic that issues affecting traders will be addressed, especially the use of kilograms as a unit to determine taxes on garments and clothes. The Prime Minister will meet traders at the office of the Prime Minister and listen to their complaints. Now, we have Kasita here as chairman and have Thaddeus also insisting as chairman. As we speak, there are leadership issues in Kasita, but no wonder we expect to have Thaddeus with us later on in the show. The National Resistance Movement has unveiled the official campaign poster for President Yoweri Museveni with the theme of the campaign. This is time NRM campaigns are on the theme protecting the gains as we make a quantitative lap into high middle income status. The National Party Vice Chairperson Ahaj Moses Chigongo unveiled the portrait for 2025-2026 campaigns at Chadondo Road in Kampala, witnessed by the district NRM chairpersons. From prosperity for all in 2011 to steady progress in 2016, then to securing your future in 2021, the party says protecting the gains is what they will use to seek another mandate for 2025-2026 campaigns. The first National Vice Chairperson, Ahaj Moses Chigongo, urged the party members on unity and encouraged them to be disciplined and explain the manifesto to the public. The NRM Secretary General, Richard Prodong, asked the party district chairpersons to understand what it means to protect the gains. Meanwhile, the district chairpersons were briefed on the upcoming delegates conference. As we wind up our local stories this morning, Uganda Police and the justice sector partners have endorsed a standard operating procedure manual for the management of crime scenes in cases of trafficking in persons. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, James Ochaya, highlighted the persistent challenges that hinder effective crime scene management. Management of crime scenes relatedly to trafficking in persons is a complex and sensitive area in police investigations. Uganda Police and development partners developed standard operating procedures to guide in handling of such cases in line with the evolving crime environment. Trafficking in persons globally is a violation of human rights and a modern-day slavery, requiring coordinated international efforts to combat it. Meanwhile, police plans to reintroduce annual retooling examinations for officers to strengthen competences in response to challenging global crime trends. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is concerned over the limited expertise of frontline responders who often mishandle crime scenes. This undermines investigations and denies victims access to justice. Leveraging on the standard operating procedures will ensure consistency across agencies and to uphold legal integrity through victim-centered approach. Now, that brings us to the end of our local stories this morning. Julie, take us through what the rest of the world has for us.
Thank you very much, Robert. And looking at what the rest of the world has, we are starting off with at least 18,885 children are among the more than 62,000 Palestinians killed by Israel since the start of its genocide war in Gaza nearly 2 years ago. Gaza's government media office has said the staggering grim toll comes as the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees said on Tuesday that no place is safe for children in the enclave, where Israeli-induced starvation is rife due to Israel's blockading of desperately needed aid and medical supplies. UN-run schools have become shelters for hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza amid constant Israel bombardments that have leveled homes, and that as reported by UNRWA. Palestinians have sought protection under the UN flag only for the shelters to be targeted, becoming a place for death, including for too many children. No place is safe for children in Gaza. Ceasefire now, the agency said, citing the UN Children's Fund UNICEF. UNRWA noted that in the past 5 months, of the war, since Israel unilaterally shuttered a ceasefire deal and resumed attacks, an average of over 540 children have been killed every single month as per reports. That number is scary and sad at the same time. Now, United States President Donald Trump has ruled out sending U.S. troops to Ukraine to guarantee its security in the event of an agreement to end Russia's war in the country. Asked during an interview with Fox News on Tuesday what assurances he could provide that U.S. troops would not be deployed to defend Ukraine's borders, Trump said, "You have my assurance, and I am president. I am just trying to stop people from being killed." Trump said that European countries were trying to provide troops to bolster Ukraine's security, but the U.S. could provide support by air. We're willing to help them with things, especially probably if you talk about by air, because there's nobody that has the kind of stuff we have, Trump told the Fox and Friends program. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt later reiterated that U.S. troops would not be part of any peace deal between Moscow and Kiev, but that Washington would assist with coordination and perhaps provide other means of security guarantees. On to the motherland. Burkina Faso's junta has expelled the UN's top official to West African nation over a report about children caught up in the jihadist conflict. Caroflor Smerek-Zignac was declared persona non grata because of her role in drafting the report that came out in March, covering a 2-year period. The study detailed more than 2,000 cases of reported child recruitment, killings, sexual violence and abuse, blaming Islamist insurgents, government soldiers and civilian defense forces as well in there. The military government, which came to power in September 2022 and is led by Captain Ibrahim Traore, said it had not been consulted by the UN, saying that the report contained unfounded allegations. It did not cite any documentation or court rulings to support the alleged cases of violations against children attributed to the valiant Burkinabe fighters. The government statement said since 2015, jihadist rebels affiliated with Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group had waged an insurgency that had killed thousands of people and forced millions to flee their homes. Well, that brings us to the end of what we have on the global scene. Robert, what do we have in the press today?
Well, in the New Vision this morning, something very interesting here. We have Money Well Cater for 2026 campaign to be shared by iPod members. Now 11 billion released for political parties. And President Museveni's portrait unveiled, a very good one there on the front page of the New Vision. That is His Excellency, the chairman of the ruling party, what he's going to be using in these campaigns. Now, accident, why you say roundabout, deadliest crash spot. And still in the New Vision, conflict, Museveni orders audit of cattle compensation. This is where some people may dance to the music. And citizens demand, farmers ask for tractors. Still the New Vision, UNEB orders schools on candidate lists, and singer Chameleon's wife files for divorce. Okay, well, those are some of the stories in the New Vision this morning. Let me go to the Daily Monitor. Now, in the Daily Monitor this morning, government uses stick carrot on traders. That is the strike or demonstration that happened yesterday. I am out of NRM, Sechikubo declares after tribunal ruling.
Wow.
And I won't quit your case, judge tells Dr. Kiza Besigye. Still moving on, journey that ended NUP supporters' life after detention. Sad. And moment of truth as SEC aspirants are vetted today. Moving on, still in the Daily Monitor, this time allow me excuse, I'm not going to talk about your friend the lizard, but of course excel in PLE, fine test papers of English, mathematics, science and social studies. Well, let's look at what Tanzania and Kenya have for us this morning in their dailies. Julie.
Yes, indeed. And we're starting off with Tanzania. That is the Citizen. Cashless economy drive gains traction. That is the headline in the Citizen. And in there is also CCM defectors gain or gamble for opposition and clean cooking impact. How firewood and climate change cause children to skip school. Where the votes are ahead of presidential election, that's also just below there in the Citizen, and Tanzania's plan to strengthen women's role in peace security. Now let's look at what we have in the Daily Nation. And the Daily Nation, that is from Kenya, the headline there is MP's bribery scandal crisis. And it has the crackdown, president forms multi-agency team on war against corruption, sabotage, furious MPs cripple House business, and paralyze committees in in a show of defiance, and backlash, lawmakers threaten speakers with no confidence votes to force them to act, prosecution, rising calls for the president to submit evidence to charge rogue MPs, and retaliation, MPs vow to exercise their power on budget cuts to hit back at executive. Wow. Anyways, senators vote on trial of Kericho governor. And also still in the Daily Nation, the judiciary, DCJ Mwilu cleared of misconduct charge in Gachagua Ulster case. And matters fraud, Kenyan phone users are a touch away from cons. And at the top right there is why hundreds of graduate teachers are barred from junior school jobs, and how scramble for Harambee Stars match tickets crashed online portal. Wow, it is the Chan season indeed. But that's it from what we have in the dailies. For now, let's have a short break. This is Good Morning Uganda and you're watching UBC TV. Coming back, we shall be having a conversation with Kasita regarding the traders demonstration. For now, enjoy music from Rihanna, Lift Me Up.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Burning in a hopeless dream. Hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me in the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold
causing road crashes that claim lives, cause injuries, waste time, and drain finances. She was speaking at the second East African Symposium and Expo on Trauma, Injury, and Emergency Care at Makerere University School of Public Health in Kampala. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, blamed the rise in road clashes, drowning, snake bites, and other preventable accidents on impunity and indiscipline, stressing these can be addressed through consistent enforcement of existing laws. She noted emergency wards are overwhelmed with accident victims, leading to death, disability, and poverty due to high treatment costs. Dr. Atwine called for a multi-sectoral approach in enforcing prevention and strengthening emergency systems. The Commissioner of Emergency Medical Services, Dr. John Baptiste, commended the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Works and Transport, and the private sector for mobilizing resources to minimize accidents and injuries. He appreciated Total Energies, Makerere University, and the Ministry of Health for prioritizing trauma, injury, and emergency care, urging more innovations, partnerships, and sensitization to close gaps in service delivery. The symposium attracted local and international experts in emergency medicine, ambulance services, snake bite care, occupational health, injury prevention, transport, safety, and oil and gas medical units. Police have reminded parents and guardians on the safety of minors during holidays over reckless corporal punishments and negligency of children in their hands. The police spokesperson, Rushoke Gitumwa,
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite free friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend, I have made some good money today. It is time to relax and enjoy life.
Nice to hear that, Semu. Just give me some money.
Gino, let's go party. All the drinks and the muchomo are on me. I will crown the day with a babe to chill with before I return home. Let's enjoy ourselves. Life is too short.
You guy, you mean you want to take nothing home to your family? My friend, indulging in casual sex has become very risky and dangerous these days. There is HIV and what's still Mpox.
What are you saying, Gino? I use protection, a condom. Don't scare me.
Good. Condoms can protect you from HIV and other STIs, but not Mpox. If that person has the Mpox skin rash, you will also contract the disease Semu.
What?
Yes, Semu. And from there, you'll spread it to your loved ones, your lovely wife, and your children, who may suffer serious disease and even die.
Thanks, Gino. I heard about it earlier, but I just brushed it off as well. So I am cancelling this useless program and going home to my loved ones. eh? Bye, Gino. Bye.
Good decision. You see, that is being responsible, Semu. Hey, by the way, before you go, just give me at least a 50K.
Mpox is real. Protect yourself and the loved ones. Stay safe and do not indulge in casual sex or other risky behaviors. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health
With support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV. This is Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie Nataba Mosisi. And the day before yesterday, Kasita announced a nationwide demonstration of traders that was to take place, indeed took place yesterday. And after a while, as we saw the environment in the morning, early morning hours of the morning, shops were closed in the CBD. But later on, as the day went by, a few shops started to open here and there. And we had to have this conversation yesterday, but it's happening today. And we are having in studio with us Thaddeus Musoke from Kampala City Traders Association to help us understand this matter better. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be a part of the conversation. It's a WhatsApp text line, not a call line. So for us to be able to communicate efficiently, 0709602592. Text to that number and we'll be able to have a good conversation. Good morning, Thaddeus.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you also for hosting me.
Right. Let's start with the why. Why the demonstration? Why was it staged?
Why the demonstration? I think, okay, to a certain extent it was successful.
Yes.
But currently, the leadership of the business community has different fractions. So you find that that's why it is a nationwide demonstration, but only just some few streets in Kampala. Basing on the survey we did yesterday with my team, it's like 21 buildings closed. And this was facilitated by the landlords, but also some traders, because these concerns, the traders, our concerns are genuine. But where we differ is the approach, because there are some policy measures which we need to fully intervene and participate, like the budget process. Because already the Ministry of Finance has written to our office and Secretariat to make sure how do the traders participate in the budget process. But what is causing annoyance in the business community? Direct competition from foreigners. It's unfortunate that we have engaged the government on several forums that can the foreigners who have access to cheap capital stay in these huge investments than these petty businesses. Because you find a manufacturer who is on tax holiday is competing with a retailer or a local trader. This is unfortunate, it's not fair. Then also there are these taxes on garments, kilo garments, kilo on kilo per kilo, dollar per kilo. So this one, it makes the taxes so expensive. And someone could say, why is it at this time? Because we engage the government, and in a special way, I want to thank, this, sometimes it annoys people, but I want to thank the team at URA, the Commissioner General. He fully committed himself and the research team to make sure that he's going to do whatever it takes to convince the policymakers so that that tax on garments is reduced. And at first we thought that he was maybe playing politics because URA's target is to meet the targets. Now reducing the taxes, we could not believe. But we are happy in this budget. The taxes on garments were reduced. And especially I want also to thank His Excellency, because His Excellency was so clear the moment we met him that the moment goods are locally manufactured here, the government policy is promote bubu. So we shall hike the taxes to discourage traders from importing. That's why by there is this import substitution. So we need to make sure that we engage the government and let the government engage the trading community to change the perception. Why should you import jeans when they are being locally manufactured here? What is causing that unfair relationship between the traders and then the manufacturers? So these are some of the points. So when we met the Chinese who are making jeans in Bali, we told them, no, let our attire sector, by this the one which carried out the demonstration, not the entire business community, can it be given that mandate to be agents of your products so that you have that rapport of getting feedback from your customers and they tell you the designs they need. We thought that the Chinese would embrace it, but the way they embraced it wasn't fair because we found out that they started opening shops, starting even selling 1 dozen, 1 jean. Why do you create such a direct competition? You're a manufacturer. Get agents, get distributors, so that these people can have wholesalers and retailers, so that also Ugandans can benefit from such investment. But you find that even, I think there is some relaxity at the Ministry of Trade. They don't follow up. They don't follow up to make sure that at least our challenges, also our submissions can materialize. But we are going to push until there is that fairness. That's why even some of the traders continue importing, because you are competing with me directly. And also our argument was, as our local industries also try to boost their capacity, can you leave some room for importation to supplement on the huge market? Because we should not focus only on our Ugandan market. We should focus on a bigger market, the African market. That's why when I was given assignment by His Excellency Kaguta Museveni to make a research on this, when the research I submitted, it details all what the government can intervene, so that there is that rapport coordination, the investors and the local Ugandans, so that there is that conducive business environment.
Right.
I'm thinking that they will adopt it. But that's causing, we should avoid that direct what? Competition. Remember at Chengera, the people who were retailing sun decided to be rough with the Chinese who also wanted to retail. But for us, we are handling it in a more ethical way.
Right.
But we should not be taken for granted. But also there is also issues with the National Bureau of Standards, mainly on garments, because the standards body hasn't yet sensitized the business community. And at times when we engage them, they have limitation, I think, of a budget. That they don't engage the business community, but they need also, because standards also is key in business, and business survival is so important. But the engagement still lacks. So they start implementing the policy when the traders are not aware about the processes. So they find that it's also an added cost. It also inconveniences. There is also some bureaucracy tendency. You create a URA, then National Bureau of Standards comes in. So, and the trader time is money.
Right.
So we need also to handle that. But also, there are also some traders who think that the government is not valuing traders. Can we have that continuous engagement? Can the government understand the trader? Can they try to intervene? Now also there was another issue which URA we tried to sort with URA, and then the traders were complaining about delays of clearance. But what was causing this, that before I had to intervene, when URA got some, was it like 300 containers? They got us smuggling, that's the fact.
Right.
So I told URA, my friend, I'm in 2 campaigns. So if you're in 2 campaigns, these traders at least have a special consideration. With this, can you engage them? Can you give them a second chance? So that when they get saved, you know, we use that word, when we get saved, and we don't smuggle kuyiya. You know, there is that saying that you can kuyiya.
Yes.
And what was bringing this kuyiya? It was like, you know, T-shirts. The taxes for T-shirts are unbearable. So what could the container leaders do? When you import shoes where the taxes are fair and friendly, and even some tops for the ladies, so they could disguise the tops, the T-shirts to be tops, so that they avoid the other huge taxes. So later, you already said, you people, there is something fishy.
Right.
So when we decided to be clean, the taxes were so huge. But later, with the government intervention, it had to pardon them. They waived off the penalties. The audits, which, you know, also they were waived off. You know, when they get you smuggling, they could also arrest you. And then people started clearing. But during the process, you find that the process delayed. And even now there is this tendency where the container leader, at least after clearing URA, he comes and makes unfair costs to the small traders who have just started. Because nowadays we have that consolidation where many small traders come together to fill a container. And the leader of that container is the one whom we refer to as a container leader.
Right.
So currently there is this tax, you know, when you hear some of the traders complain about the CBM, it's like the tax before they used to charge, is it 2 million? But currently now they are charging 5.5 and 6.
What is CBM?
It bases on they measure on the size of the container. It means like how the space of the container. So that's how it's being charged. But when you engage URA, they don't know that kind of tax. So it's like the Basu's own way of taxing their colleagues.
Right.
But it makes the taxes also unbearable. That's why URA is totally discouraging it. And is emphasizing, can you have a separate bill? And our concern as the traders, if you want a separate bill, can the processes be simplified? The transfers, the clearance, so that a trader can easily pay the taxes using his TIN at convenience.
Right. Thank you so much for that background. We are having a conversation with Thaddeus Musoke, who is from the Kampala City Traders Association, and he is speaking into the recent demonstrations that traders took on yesterday in regards of many discrepancies that they felt should be dealt with, especially with the URA. Now, let's talk about the leadership, internal leadership.
Yes.
Don't you think that some of the things that are so far halting the process of where success would have been is with the leadership, that the bit of that conflict?
Yeah, it's right. It's right. Also, the conflict has also made the demonstration not so successful. Because lately, you know, I was in primaries and we had to engage my colleagues and even our patron, His Excellency Godfrey Chilimila, before I went for primaries. And it was a strategic move. Remember last year when we met His Excellency at Kololo, we had an argument that since at times we avoid politics, and we elect some people who are not, who don't have enough experience, and they're not aware about the business challenges and environment. So when we send our own, we can easily be represented so that our concerns can be, at least they can formulate fair policies. This was because of the unfair penalties like the IFRIS which they had. Like they could charge us, they could penalize us 6 million, even if just a bottle of water of 1,000. But when we engage the government, and His Excellency directed URA, engage the traders, make research. That's why in this new budget, Madam Happy, whenever we engage the government, there are some wins we get. Now the penalty is 3 times the tax which you could have avoided. Like on the bottle of water, if you were supposed to pay 500 shillings as a tax, so you pay around 1,500, which is fair, from 6 million. So what do I want to assure our traders? We need to change the strategies we use when we are engaging, when we engage the government. If the government can listen, you see the wins. They got you smuggling and they have the penalties. They stopped the investigations. They started arresting some of the container leaders. You see when we intervened with IFRIS, the president elected, and there is some wins. So now even on garments, I didn't explain to this. On the garments last financial year, it was $3.5 per kilo. But when we engaged, they reduced to 2.5. And even on textile, it was $3 per kilo. So currently this financial year is $2 per kilo. Right. So the government intervened. But the argument from the traders, when you decide to go clean and you avoid manyanga-nyanga, is still unbearable. So our recommendation is, can the government revisit further and revisit these taxes? It's just unfortunate. Like, by the way, I like the way the Prime Minister handled this engagement with some sector leaders, because this now we are in the budget process. You don't expect the Prime Minister to direct the Minister of Finance. Now, reduce. It has to be a process, unless maybe the President can intervene and give a clear directive, maybe. Right. You never know. But I'm happy that the government is ready to listen to the traders. Even a day before, we were called by our new RSCC here in Kampala, where he gave traders an opportunity to hear out their challenges. And he committed himself that he's going to make sure that he engages with the traders who could work as a team to make sure that all relevant offices are revisited and see what is going on, what is pending, how can we handle this? But also the challenge is that we have now so many associations. We have so many associations, and we have done with this association, and now the worst part of it, we in Kasita. Lately, I was confined, illegally confined in office, and my colleagues, my team, wanted to take over the leadership, but in an illegal way, not following up the constitution of such a great association. So when I was confined for almost 3 hours. So they were arguing that the constitution does not allow me to participate into active politics. But even before I joined the primaries for NRM, I engaged them. Even the last elections, I contested in Mukona. I was the Secretary General of Kasita, Uganda. And because I was on the anti-ticket for General Mugisha Muntu, it was very fine. But this time, because I'm with the bus, I'm with the Muzei, then it's becoming a problem. They had to hijack the constitution to push me away. But strategically, when I engaged the founder of Kesita, Livingstone Ziwa, he told me, no, convene a meeting to see how can we handle this crisis. Unfortunately, when I went to the secretariat, I was confined for 3 hours until I called the police. It's the one which rescued me. And then we started the processes, the investigation. And then also I told them, since you are misbehaving, strategically, I called for an extraordinary meeting for the traders. So they are formed, let us suspend them because they had misbehaved. And secondly, we gave room for engagement, for reconciliation. When our patron came in, he was, there is that syndicate because, there is that hate. How can you put posters around the city with your face, the leader of Kasita and His Excellency? So there was some syndicate. They wanted me to tell, they were telling me now, accept the leave and be in active politics, when currently I'm not in active politics. Already I lost in primaries because of uncertain issues there. So I told them, but logically, why should I go for a leave when now I'm concentrating into business administration, my business issues?
Now,
so those crises also, they made this demonstration not so successful, but to a certain extent that's successful. Because now, like my side, we didn't embrace it because our comrades never engaged us. And also I have people who trust my leadership. But I said, okay, since we have issues, we have our common goal. The traders who are willing to demonstrate, they can close their shops. But you should not force your colleague. You should not intimidate. You should not hire these galleys to force people to close the shops. And then the worst part is I got voices inciting traders to flop streets. So this was not the way Kasita organizes this demonstration.
Right, and what we understand is a few people were arrested. And speaking into your strategy, I understand now the factions have even a disconnection when it comes to strategy as to how to handle things. Whilst you want things to be handled peacefully and amicably, there are factions that want things to be handled another way. And let me first ask, with those arrests that were made, have they been released?
Currently, we are having a team of lawyers, which we are utilizing to make sure that, yes, our comrades can be released, and some were yesterday released. Even after here, I'm going to CPS to see exactly what's ongoing. We need to support them and also be given bails or police bonds so that at least next time they can understand the approaches. Now, closing the shops is not the solution. We need to engage in a more constructive dialogue. Now, we need to carry out research. We need to have those serious presentations. Even if you meet the president, when you don't have enough research, you cannot win the president because he's so well informed. And I wanted to come at that. The fact now that there's these many associations, there's disunity clearly. And yesterday, there's a team from Kasita that still had a meeting with the Prime Minister, and another one is coming on today. Yes. What do you expect from the result of today, given the background of the disunity? Do you think anything will yield? But also, when I joined NRM, I thought also there is a big challenge at our entrepreneurship league. It's not doing a needful. And we have big wings now who are contesting to be the chairman of the entrepreneurship league. Have you heard them complaining about anything going about in the trading sector? So, like my appeal to those people contesting, they need to pick interest in making sure how do they get feedback from all sectors so that His Excellency gets first-hand information. But also for this meeting, which is ongoing, the fact is closing shops is not the solution. I want to thank the Prime Minister. Even if he didn't meet me, but the moment she met the leadership of the trading community, she's trying to find a possible solution. She's trying to explain to the traders, these are policy issues. There are avenues and there are processes we need to follow. Currently, we are in the budget process. Because if already the government has reduced on the taxes, you don't expect in the middle of the financial year to reverse those taxes, unless the president can give a special directive. So, but he's trying to make sure that he calms down. because we need this city when it's peaceful. And also the government needs to understand the challenges of the traders. That's why I embrace all the engagements. We can try all avenues.
Right.
I've also, personally, I've put in a request to meet the president to make sure that how can we reverse all the pending challenges of the business community, and also making a follow-up about the research, the assignment I made and submitted. Can we have audience? We go through that research. Can we find the possible interventions the government can do? And also, can we revisit some of the departments, like in Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, who are not effective to meet the challenges of the trading community? Because, you know, we had also a funny scenario about glass dealers. And unfortunately, Director Kagwa had instructed one of the colleagues, please handle these challenges, because they had increased the taxes, claiming we locally manufacture glasses. But when we revisited in Namamve, we never discovered any processing department making glasses. So you see some policies unfair. So later when they intervened, also traders, they striked for some time.
Right.
Why should you wait for the trader to demonstrate? Engage him, because you're supposed to facilitate trade. The moment this trader has a good business environment, the more he makes profits, the more the government will get revenue. So there's some of the civil servants who are, I think, they're not doing their work effectively.
Right. Let me engage a
Even
couple
sometimes we think maybe, oh, they are corrupted. Hey, because why can't you facilitate trade?
Right. Engaging a couple of your comments on 0709602592 as we speak with Thaddeus Mosoke, who is from the Kampala City Traders Association, and the conversation is based on the demonstration that the traders took on yesterday. Now, somebody comes through and says, good morning, Uganda. Government should know that Uganda, our homeland, and is our homeland, and so they should tax traders the tax that is commensurate to the business other than burdening taxpayers. This is Dan Achilu Oreo Court. And another one comes in from Odaro Vincent from Tororo. You say that the government and the traders should sit on a round table and agree on terms and conditions so that business resumes as usual, because at the end of it, it's the final consumer who is affected. And one final one, we are all Ugandans, so government has to hear from traders of Uganda, please. Now, Thaddeus, let me ask, as we begin to bring this conversation to a close, what do you expect from today's meeting with the Prime Minister, and what do you advise moving forward from today's meeting?
I think I'm going to start from what I can advise. The traders. You know, when a trader is having money, at times, it doesn't follow up. And most of the time I use this example. Last year we are in the budget process. There are some traders I know who are educated and are good with enough, they're exposed with enough information. I called him, please, we're having an engagement in the Ministry of Finance. Can you come and join me? He told me, Chair, you know, I'm attending to my sick patient. Unfortunately, I cannot join you. So in the evening, I called a colleague. You know, I was feeling sorry for him. He told me that man was lying you. The sick patient is the shop. He's not comfortable with leaving a shop. Wow. So we wait until things are not okay and we demonstrate. We need to be proactive. Let us engage in these processes. Let us even, by the way, in elections, can we elect resourceful leaders? Can we elect resourceful leaders who can represent our concerns? As the trading community, can you support your colleagues who have been in Bayiribi when they have gone into active politics, because they can represent us effectively in Parliament? And also, can the government get us a slot in Parliament as the private sector? Because we are paying and contribute a lot to the budget of this country. But about the outcome, I don't want to empty the Prime Minister. She's a very important lady. And the Chief Mobilizer, and also because she's also an entrepreneur. Because she has that passion. to intervene to find possible solution. I'm thinking the meeting will be very resourceful. But also I'm assuring the traders, please, if you're ready to work, don't be intimidated. We are working. Yesterday I worked and I made some money. So if you are willing to work, please work. If you are not comfortable with working, it's okay, but don't force your colleague. Secondly, we're having other avenues of engage. The good thing, our government listens. You know, some people are saying, now you okay, you have NRM, what can you say? But I've told you some wins we have got through engaging. And even I told them, Musoke being the chair of Kasita, I'm of NRM, that is a strategic move. I can easily convince Muzey, our colleagues are bad love. And as His Excellency, the head of the state, he has to intervene. So we need to be strategic. Please, my comrades, don't misunderstand me. But being of NRM, by the way, that's a good. And by the way, I'm trying also to push reforms in our entrepreneurship league, because it's not doing the needful. People are buying voters. Have you heard that even some people have been smuggled to Nairobi, to Tanzania, than trying to understand the challenges? Those organs are supposed to make recommendations, are supposed to make research about the challenges in the business community. Right. Than investing a lot of money, bribing about voters. Please let us understand what people need. Let us facilitate development. Let us facilitate trading. The Entrepreneurship League of NRM, I think, is not doing us the needful.
All right. Looks like that is a call to the Entrepreneurship League of the NRM.
And you know what they were attacking me? That, you know, Kasita always, you people, you attack the government. I told them, no, not attacking. Right. Understand the traders.
One final one. You've talked about no one should be forced to close shop. What happens to those whose landlords choose to close
my friend, you know, that's
the premises?
That's a very big problem. Because yesterday I was talking to some landlords. If I paid my rent, I'm trying to get exact the buildings. Why should you close the building? People have their loan obligations. People have their rent obligation. These are some of the buildings where the landlords are conniving with the demonstrators. Now, like Drake Lubega. You see Drake Lubega, we're having Sauliako B Village, we're having some landlords like Nabukera Christine, Kayongo Juma. This is evidence. They were closing the shops. Muonge Johnny Bosco. Why do you close these buildings?
I hope you will.
If people are willing to work. I want to thank the landlords who opened for us the buildings, and we worked yesterday. So it has to be a peaceful demonstration.
Surely, indeed. And I hope with the names that you've dropped, you'll have a peaceful way of convincing
them. Yes, already we're engaging them.
To
yes, open so that people who are willing to work can work.
Now,
and by this annoying some people, now you see that man Musoke is killing our demonstration. But already the government is engaging.
Right.
Why can't we work?
Right. Let's close this off with some comments. And this is Tim who says, thank you for the show. Okay. Oh, yeah, you say, Tim, thank you for the show. I am Obux Robert Anthony from Bukedea, and you say that I admire the way you always frame your questions to your panelists. Oh, humbled. Thank you very much. And you said that, well, there is no opposition in Uganda.
Sometimes very hard questions.
You say that there is no opposition in Uganda. What we have is just some greedy individuals who are self-seekers. No proper ideology, no accountability to their very party members. And okay, I see you attacking a few people. Let me leave it at that for purposes of peace, and let's bring this conversation to its close. Thank you so much for being on the show. Up next is Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. Thaddeus Musoke, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. He is representing the Kampala City Traders Association. Good Morning Uganda does continue.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
It's a chill morning. I woke up happier and more excited. My name is Zakia Lucky, and thank you for being a part of us on the GMU Tourism Express. In continuity to our previous episode, today we'll be discussing flavors of Ugandan foods. And I'm happy that I'll be talking about one of those foods that made me leave Kabale straight to Kampala just to taste this particular food, luwombo. I've had a chance to go through the experience on how it has been prepared, and it's just exciting, artistic, and I can't wait to dive into getting to know what are the stories behind this preparation, because I had never seen anything like that. So stick with us and let's get to learn this together. With me again is Chef Sharif, who happened to prepare luwombo for us, and he'll be telling us all the stories and the art behind this particular food. But let him introduce himself to you guys again, and then we dive into that.
Sharif Abakari Wangwo, a chef at Food Plots.
Yes, so Chef Sharif, from my experience being a part of the preparation of luwombo, I realized this takes a lot of time. Maybe that could be the reason as to why the younger people don't prefer local foods or having to wait forever. But Chef, what could your experience be like?
It's true. Local food, let's say, about what is here on the table.
Yes.
Loretagamu akadde. Kati omuntu yenna nga talina budde. Nga talina bugumiikiriza. Aba alemereddwa okufuna ekirungi ekirulimu. Era aba agenda kusuwa bingi.
So there are people like me who love these foods, and I highly believe by the time you leave your home or you have in mind what you want to eat, you're ready to wait and experience this particularly. But why local foods? Why do you think the older people prefer local foods?
As I told you earlier, abamu, the biggest number.
Yes.
Bayina ebirwadde bibayita ebirwadde by'abakulu okugeza nga sukaali, pressure, n'ebirala ebigenderako nga tebabakkiriza kulya fats oba kibatwalise butto okutwalizaamu. So when it comes to this local food, tetukozesa butto. Ne bw'aba nga tuteeseemu aba alesa mutono nnyo ddala than okubanga kubadde side ya fast foods because zo mostly zitambulira ku butto mungi era n'oba ng'oteeseemu kaba katono nnyo ddala.
Kati nga tuvudde ku abo abatali ku bya butto, because I believe there are also people from my age mates that would like local foods, just like myself, and I have not, I don't have those diseases. But I would like to hear from you before I give you my reasons as to why I prefer local foods. The people that are younger, why do you think they would prefer local foods that are probably not yet sick or having health issues?
Abamu tebafuna ku chance to have it at their homes. Because mulimu amaka nga bo basically batambulira ku light foods. Ojja sanga fridge erimu enkoko naye ng'enkoko erimu KFC yasigaddewo. Ne gye baguze awaka bakoze ya soup, bakoze deep fry, nga okulya ku mmere eri boil oba enva nga za boil. It's very rare. N'abamu nga tebamanyi kubifumba. Nga they only access them nga agenze outside home.
When you say nga tebamanyi kufumba, do you give them that experience? Probably engeri gye mugenda obasavingamu, engeri gye mugenda ayinza obutatuukayo in the kitchen to see how it is being prepared. Naye engeri gy'avudde ewaka to experience a new food, like you said nti ewaka aba takiraba. Do you add on to that experience for them?
When a customer comes, let's say of this luwombo, n'abuuza like abana bali mu service, what's in that luwombo? Balufumbye batya? At times they call me, ne nvaayo, ne munyola. Abamu ku baana ba service still, they know what is done there. They give the real information about it. Onavaawo ng'ategedde. Ku ebiseera ebisinga naawe bw'oba ng'ozze, let's say nga towadde nange mu kiyungu, ojja kumbuuza walukoze otya okusinziira ku nfaanana yaalwo. Of course mba nja kuvaayo nkugambye nakoze wenne nti kubuulire.
So nga tuvudde ku luwombo, what are those other local foods or Ugandan foods that they usually like to explore or order for?
Tulinawo steamed plantain. Tulinawo bo.
Okay.
Ishabwe. Steamed potato. Steamed cassava. N'akawunga ako akazzeeko. Balinako kalungi. Naye ebiseera ebisinga ewaka mwe mugoya n'oliirawo. Naye ate bw'okazzaako ke kasinga obulungi.
What do you mean bw'okazzaako?
Like bw'omala okumingolinga n'oteeka mu ndagala zo n'osaanika n'otuzza ku ntamu n'oboilinga. Like the way you've steamed this.
Okay. Ekitegeeza you prepare it differently from home? From how?
Some homes do it, the way we do it. Other homes babuuza lwaki ozzaako akawunga. Bamanyi nti emmere nnyangu, rice, portion nti enjala eba ekuluma, enva olujja, olumala okugoya ng'oteeka ali nga bajjula nga balya. So ffe tukazzaako.
Okay. So Uganda has very many foods, very many local foods. So do you prepare all the foods or it's according to what a client wants?
No, according to our menu, I would say 80% we prepare it from here. Like steamed yams, steamed vegetable, steamed cassava, steamed potato, steamed plantain, luwombo, both beef and chicken. That's all.
But you go all out to explore all the Ugandan foods.
Yeah, because we have Bo, and Bo is actually Bo is well known for those people from, are they called the Northerners?
Yes, Northern Uganda.
Yeah, for us we do it here. Then we bring Ishawe from west to central. And now we prepare it here. Plus kalo.
And of course Luwombo from Buganda. But you've not mentioned Karamoja, those parts when we go back to also Renzori, because your clients are tourists from all over the country. But also, are these usual? Do you have international tourists that come looking for Ugandan food?
Yes, we do have them.
Okay.
They do come, ask for Luombo, call you, tell me what's this? Have prepared it? Should I come and see what you're doing? And so others come ask for their particular meals like Mexican foods, Italian dishes. We also do them.
So you can see what's exciting about Ugandan foods is we're also getting international tourists that come and ask about these foods. I do not know if they've seen them on social media or a friend has recommended or they found them on the menu. But this is to continue to ask. When you get to experience a Ugandan food, please put it up there because we have a variety. You can see we have a number of cultures here, and all of these are creating different Ugandan foods. And again, I'm emphasizing, let's stop addressing these as local foods, but Ugandan foods. So to our dear parents, let's make it a point to introduce these foods to our children. Let's also introduce them to everyone else because we get visitors at home. And to everyone else out there, you could be an influencer. And by the way, everyone is a tourist. Let's continue highlighting these foods. Let's be proud and richly in our foods and put them out there. As I enjoy my Luombo, and don't forget to engage and let us know what you think about or what local food or Ugandan food you would like us to talk about. And remember, we are here from Monday to Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Thank you.
Brought to you by
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome back from GMU Tourism Express. Time for business, and still starting off with matters. Traders operating business in different shopping city centers in Kampala appealed to the government to intervene on exorbitant taxes Uganda Revenue Authority charges. Kasita chairperson Haji Issa Sechito told UBC although government had promised a curb on the exorbitant taxes faced by traders, this was in vain, hence the protest by traders. This followed the peaceful strike by traders where most shops on various city center buildings closed off. Business in Kampala city center was unusual as shops had closed as traders protested against unbearable taxes. Security deployed and patrolled different streets, but the strike gained momentum. Traders say the cost of doing business in the city is high while sales have declined. The chairperson, Kampala City Traders Association, Haji Issa Sechito, said that although the president had promised to address their concerns, nothing had changed. The traders demand urgent government intervention, Ministry of Trade, before they can resume work. Sechito told the UBC that why some businesses were still operating amidst the strike. Kampala traders threatened to extend the strike if government does not review the tax policy. Now, the government of Uganda started negotiations with topmost investors in the world to make Uganda digital. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Anabanja, this last morning held discussions with investors who are in the country to explore investment opportunities. Uganda is on her transformation journey, connecting the country to the global world with a 5-year digital transformation roadmap. Though the country is on the move, the government still needs more investments that will make this dream a reality. Last week, Uganda received an international business delegation composed of some of the topmost investors in the digital world, led by Dr. Jakampudi Chaudhary from India. Today, the delegation held talks with Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabbanja, who proposed to make Uganda digital. Dr. Chaudhary says that this partnership with the government will transform Uganda's economy and will also create millions of jobs like he has done in other parts of the world. The meeting was also attended by the State Minister for National Guidance and ICT, Godfrey Kabyanga, Minister of Tourism, Colonel Fred Butime, and Executive Director of the National Planning Authority, Professor Pamela Mbabazi, and the Head of State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema. Now, staying with matters State House investors, the State House Investors Protection Unit has engaged with leaders of various government agencies to amplify the visibility of public service delivery. Colonel Nakalema said that there is need to reflect on national aspirations outlined in Uganda's 4th National Development Plan. While Uganda is endowed with various strategic approaches to socio-economic transformations such as natural resources, many government interventions remain unknown to the public. There is also limited demonstration of transparency within the public service. Various government agency heads underscored the role of digital platforms in enhancing visibility and cross-sector collaboration. The head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, urged agency heads to leverage on youth empowerment, natural resource management for socio-economic transformation. Well, let's have a look at what we have in the forex rates as of 19th August 2025. The US dollar opened at 3,555.59 and sold at 3,565.59. By midday, it had increased to 3,558.09 and closed in at 3,559.91. An increase in value there. Now, the British pound was buying at 4,804.13 and selling at 4,817.63, and the euro was buying at 4,147.13 and selling at 4,158.75. The Kenyan shilling was at 27.55 and selling at 27.62, and the Tanzanian shilling staying at 1.36 as the previous date and selling at a slight increase of 1.37. The South African rand was at 201.56 and selling at 202.13. Well, that's it for Good Morning Uganda Business today. And we are having a conversation, as is every Wednesday, with the Uganda Cooperative Alliance. And today in particular, we are looking at digital innovation and migration in cooperatives. 0709-602-590 is the WhatsApp number that you should save and be a part of the conversation. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
My friend, I have made some good money today. It is time to relax and enjoy life.
Nice to hear that, Sim. Just give me some money.
Gino, let's go party. All the drinks and the muchomo are on me. I will crown the day with a babe to chill with before I return home. Let's enjoy ourselves. Life is too short.
You mean you want to take nothing home to your family? My friend, indulging in casual sex has become very risky and dangerous these days. There is HIV and what's still Mpox.
What are you saying, Gino? I use protection, a condom. Don't scare me.
Good. Condoms can protect you from HIV and other STIs, but not Mpox. If that person has the Mpox skin rash, he will also contract the disease Semu.
What?
Yes, Semu. And from there, you'll spread it to your loved ones, your lovely wife, and your children, who may suffer serious disease and even die.
Thanks, Gino. I heard about it earlier, but I just brushed it off as well. So I am cancelling this useless program and going home to my loved ones. Bye, Gino. Bye.
Good decision. You see, that is being responsible, Semu. Hey, by the way, before you go, just give me at least a 50K.
Mpox is real. Protect yourself and the loved ones. Stay safe and do not indulge in casual sex or other risky behaviors. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800-1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvest in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geographer we taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In all these years, we emphasize two words, wealth and jobs, and we try to waken our people up to show them where wealth and jobs come from.
The Parish Development Model, PDM, is a bold initiative that is reshaping Uganda's rural economy. By allocating 100 million shillings to each parish annually, PDM empowers households by unlocking opportunities for wealth creation.
This program will be maintained. Each year we send 100 million for the parish. If you get the 1 million, you can buy some goats, you can buy some pigs, you can buy even young cows.
Farmers are transitioning from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture, laying the groundwork for wealth creation and improved livelihoods.
This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency. And that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that master business in Soroti, and he was talking about how to improve household income.
With the PDM, you bring back the money after 24 months, but in the third year, you would get another 100 million paid back by those who got first.
The President's message is a mindset changer. Becoming rich does not mean you should have a lot of land, you should have a lot of education, you just need a vision and implement and start from where you are.
So therefore, this PDM is to get all of you out of poverty. That's why we said 100 million per parish per year.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance.
Nsooka okwebaza omukulembeze w'eggwanga okututeekateeka. Twali tetunnaba kuteekebwateekebwa, twafuna okusoomoozebwa nga kungi nnyo. Omuli okutukwata abasirikale, olumu nga tetulina na kitukoze. Kale nga n'akasente k'oba osonzeewo ggwe nga ggwe akagenda okukuyambako mu bizibu byo, nga weekanga okawadde abasirikale. Naye okuva ffe ghetto structure we yayimirirawo ebintu bingi byakyuka. Abaana baffe tebakyabakwata nnyo okuggyako abo abamenyi b'amateeka. Ne be bakutte nga babakwatidde mu ghetto nga ekikwekweto kibadde kiyise. Nabo tulina omukisa ogugenda okubaggyayo. Abasirikale batuwulira. Abasirikale batuwulira. Toyinza kugenda ku poliisi n'ogamba DPC nti bakutte omwana wange ng'akumanyi nti oli komanda. N'atateekayo nnyo maanyi kukola ki? Kumugyayo. Ne neebaza bakama baffe Jeno Damulira, Afande Kuteesa, nange tweyanziza nnyo mukoze kyamaanyi, bo bakoze kyamaanyi nnyo tuteekateeka. Kuba bwe twamala okuyingira ghetto structure ne batuteekerawo ne SACCO ne certificate twazifuna. Ne be bakutte nga babakwatidde mu ghetto nga ekikwekweto kibadde kiyise. Nabo tulina omukisa ogugenda okubaggyayo. Abasirikale batuwulira. Abasirikale batuwulira. Toyinza kugenda ku poliisi n'ogamba DPC nti bakutte omwana wange ng'akumanyi nti oli komanda. N'atateekayo nnyo maanyi kukola ki? Kumugyayo. Ne neebaza bakama baffe Jeno Damulira, Afande Kuteesa, nange tweyanziza nnyo mukoze kyamaanyi, bo bakoze kyamaanyi nnyo tuteekateeka. Kuba bwe twamala okuyingira ghetto structure ne batuteekerawo ne SACCO ne certificate twazifuna. Kati bwe batteekerawo SACCO eyo, era muzeeyi n'amala n'atuukiriza kye yatugamba n'atuteekeramu ssente. Era kati eno essaawa gye tuliko tuwola abaana, tuwola ba ghetto youth ababadde balina bizinesi zaabwe naye nga zibulamu ebyokukola. Tugenda tubawa okutwaliza wamu katuli bulungi, tetuli bubi nnyo, era twebaliza ddala President Museveni okutukolera ekintu ekyo kuba mu butufu twali.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Time for the agenda. And as is every Wednesday, we have conversations regarding the Uganda Cooperative Alliance. But at the center of it all is the cooperative movement. And today we are looking at digital innovation and migration in cooperatives. Now, to have that conversation with me is Derek Kalunda, who is the operations manager at Wakandi, Uganda. And a little later on, we shall be joined by Kiriai Caroline Atai, who is the general manager at Walimu Cooperative Union. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be a part of this conversation. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming through.
You're welcome.
Now let's start with a brief introduction of what Wakandi Uganda is.
Okay. Wakandi Uganda is a digital banking system service provider It's operating currently in about 5 African countries. So we're not just operating in Uganda here, but what we mainly do is to extend digital banking services to Tier 4 institutions, and that is the cooperatives, savings and credit organizations that are not so much covered by the Tier 1 and Tier 2 banking systems.
All right.
Yep.
Now, in the context of SACCOs in Uganda, how would you define digital migration?
Digital migration, I will be honest, it has not yet been embraced to the core as we would really be compared to the other countries around the area. But you will see that there's been a significant shift and really significant uptake in the last 10 years. Back in the days, I think recently in 2015, thereabout, you would walk from SACCO to SACCO and you would find many of them still paper-based. Right now, I think we've moved almost to about 60% of the institutions now operating digital on a system, and they have thrown away the papers that are not so much reliable, and they are mainly moving digital. So I think we're making really significant progress, and of course with a lot of support from the umbrella organization, the UC, and then the others.
Right. Yep. You've talked about the fact that it's quite slow, not as fast as it ideally should be, should have been. And one would wonder, Uganda is largely populated by the youth. 75% of the population is youth. And the question now that is begged is, who are the people who are actually in these circles? Who are the people in these cooperative movements? Is it the older generation, the senior citizens, or the younger people? Because with the younger people, it's easy to get on board with technology, whilst with the older people, it takes time. So how are you making sure that you're getting the citizens or cooperators tech savvy in regards to innovation and digital migration?
Yeah, some of the underlying factors why we've not picked up as fast as we would want to are mainly factors that are around the environment. And just maybe to circle back to the question that you asked, whether they are mainly composed of the youths or the elderly, it's a blend of both. Right. If you look at the rural areas, the management of these institutions is mainly by the elderly. But if you see the customers or the people that serve with these institutions are also the youth. So it's a sector that has really covered both the youth and then the elderly. But one of the other underlying factors that, the challenges that have, presented themselves in the quest to digitize them all, it's been around the network coverage, because, to digitize them would need, it needs internet. Yes. They would need to be tech savvy, be able to use computers and be able to use the smartphones at that level to be able to spread that. 10 years ago, you would move to so many institutions and you find that they are operating. It's a circle, they have an office, that's already a step to being organized. They have a management team, they have a secretary, they have a chairman, and when you look in the room, what is missing is a computer. Yeah, so a few organizations came on board, and then we started also, of course, to already start preaching about this. Right. Why does someone need a computer? Why do they need to invest in a computer, first of all, at the start? Because they have papers. If, let's say, fire breaks out, the areas of Bududa out there, they were, being hit by landslides. What happens if all that paper is washed away? With a computer and their data is backed up on a cloud, it's easy to recover all that information. So it was a process of sensitization and also trying to educate them on exactly what is required. And many of them right now, you would find at least they have at least one computer for starters. And on the other side, on the service providers end, we saw that challenge, but again, we also had to come in and do something about it. Right. I'm happy with the telecoms. They've tried to extend most of their network coverage, so in many areas, at least you would get a signal and you would be able to use the internet. Right. For the service providers like ourselves, what we've tried as well to do is to extend this service to go off a computer, to go off a smartphone, so that even those with feature phones, they can still do the banking, they can still deposit their savings, they can still request for a loan. Now again, the telecoms came in because it required us to integrate with mobile money and then the others. Right. To be able to extend the service to even someone who is using a feature phone, to still be able to, be digital as well.
Yes, a feature phone is one with Buttons.
Yeah, with buttons. It's not a
Interesting.
smartphone. Yeah. So right now, so many, even the elderly, because you would find that you don't want those phones of, they call it series.
Yes.
Yeah. So even with their smartphones, you would find that someone right now can still deposit and withdraw money from their account without necessarily moving there. So it's been an interesting journey. There's quite a lot to write home about.
Yes.
Because I remember, you know, coming from a stage where you just have to convince people that they need a computer to a
But you know, actually, even the view of walking into an office and there's no computer whatsoever. In this day and age, it's hard to imagine, and yet we got to witness it.
Interestingly, now for us, those who are our target population, because walk away from the metropolitan here, go out to Bududa, Luka, in Busoga there, find. I mean, right here in the city center, you can find any bank branch anywhere.
Right.
But again, those people that are marginalized out there, they are served by these circles.
Right.
And then you would find some would have challenges that they don't have electricity.
Yes.
But over the years, you find some have even embraced solar, and they're using computers to even do what their business about.
Right.
And I'm glad that, of course, over the years, the president has also taken an initiative and he has invested a lot into these institutions. You hear in the Myoga circle, that has helped to improve them so much, because they still use some of those funds to improve their processes, get the technology that they need, the computers, the laptops, to just facilitate themselves. And for us, as we provide the system, we try to as well educate them. So it's not just about getting them digital, but it's important that one understands, okay, you guys are talking about digital, but what do I need? How do I get, what do I benefit from that? So there is a lot of benefit, not just for the cooperatives, but also for the end customer, the consumer.
Right.
So there's quite a lot in them, because imagine previously one would need to walk, and out there it's quite in a couple of miles. One needs to walk 3 kilometers or 4 to a circle to make a deposit.
In fact, I wanted to ask you to actually just give us an in-depth picture of how you've addressed the digital divide, especially in the underserved areas. You've talked about Bududa. They tend to, face a lot of landslides and natural hazards that come along. How exactly, how practical has it been for you to integrate these innovative ideas, the digital divide, to these people, most of whom are illiterate and definitely have not gone to school to get the experience of computers, but are a part of cooperatives? Yes.
Yes, so for us, the service providers, it's mainly about tailoring our systems to be as easy to use as possible, so that one does not need to have any elementary education to use it.
Right.
You would see that before the smartphones came about, people were using feature phones. But when they were now in the market, one needed no training to use it. Why? Because they put in some time, did a lot of research, and made them so easy to use that any common person can get onto it and start, working with it. So you will find that in the rural areas, most of the institutions are run not so by the professionals. They don't have a professional accountant. They don't have a professional manager, but just someone who is known to the community. They is voted into, managing the institution, and then they get someone, probably they went to high school up to about senior 4, senior 6. So they have the basic skills. So to the service providers, it's mainly about tailoring your product and making it so easy to use that anyone can get on board to it and start to use it seamlessly.
Right.
So that's what we've tried to do much, but also part of the onboarding process involves a training session. So we do train them still even on the basics and also the best accounting practices, which helps improve them as well.
Right. You are watching Good Morning Uganda, but as is every Wednesday, we have conversations on the cooperative movement, and today in particular we are looking at digital innovation and migration in cooperatives. In studio with me is Derek Kalunda, who is the operations manager at Wakandi, Uganda, and right now we've been joined by Kiriai Caroline Atai, who is the general manager of Walimu Cooperative Union. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Briefly tell us about Walimu Cooperative Union.
Thank you so much, Jackie, and all listeners. Walimu Cooperative Union is a secondary cooperative. Secondary in a sense that its members are primary societies. Those are the circles. Walimu Cooperative Union was founded in 2014 by the teacher cooperatives to address the needs of the teachers in that specific category. Currently, we have over 250 members. These are teacher cooperatives that are spread across the country. And Walimu is unique in a way that it is supported by government. I want to thank His Excellency the President for injecting in seed capital for the teacher circles across the country. As we talk today, Walimu is the fund manager for the Teachers Revolving Circle Fund. And initially we got 25 billion and the cooperatives benefited, and that's where we are right now.
Right.
Thank you.
One would want to also know how Walimu has been able to benefit or exercise the digital migration within its movement as a cooperative union.
Thank you, Jack, for that question. As Walimu, we have tried to leverage on the existing tech companies. For example, Saconet, New Grid, Ensibuco, and others. But also we have tried to utilize the available IT companies in the country like MTN. So for us as Walimu, we have aggregated, including Wakanda. Our members are using Wakanda. So using those partners, Walimu has been able to come up with a one-stop solution that we call the Walimu Coop Fund app. In that app, we are right now rolling it out. Our teachers are unique. It is the most unique and dynamic sector in education in that our cooperatives are mobile. Today, a teacher is teaching in Mbale High, transfers come, they go to Kitgum High.
Right.
So therefore, we had to embrace technology, and as a union, we had to give our members what can make them compete in the market by working with other partners.
Right.
Thank you.
You are watching UBC TV. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage. And the name is actually Julie, not Jackie. Yes. Julie Nantaba Musisi is my name. And we are talking digital innovation and migration in cooperatives. To do that, with us is Derek Kalunda, who is the operations manager at Wakandi, Uganda. And Kiria Caroline Atai is the general manager at Walimu Cooperative Union. Send in your questions or your opinions as we enjoy this conversation. Now, to engage some of that, good morning, Julie. Good morning, Uganda. It's Isaac Wanzala Aizo in West Nile. And in such cooperatives, do they offer training and orientation programs? This question would go to you, Derek.
All right. At Wakandi, we do offer this training. I think the onboarding process, first of all, involves this, and I will just briefly take you through this. It starts with an assessment. Right. We visit a cooperative, try to assess the situation on ground. What do they have? How many staff do they have? How are they operating? Are they paper-based? Are they using Excel? Do the staff have any background of any digital solution, any IT solution? And after doing that assessment, we start to conduct the onboarding, and that starts with the training. Now, the training does not only involve or rotate around the IT platform, but we also do the basic accounting knowledge, because you will find, like I mentioned earlier, that most of these institutions are not run by professionals. Right. So one needs to know how to debit, how to credit, what does it mean, what effect does it have on their books. So we still do a whole week, a minimum. Sometimes we go up to a month, still doing that initial training, but not just about the tech solution, but also on the best practice, the best practices of running such an institution, how to balance their books, how to do that business, and how to, let's say, how do you write off a loan? Some don't even know that, but they find themselves in an institutions, and they need to serve. True. So the program is there. Once one signs up with us, we start off with a training session before we enroll them fully onto the platform and let them on their own.
All right. Have you noticed any patterns or challenges in having to implement these digital solutions across the different cooperatives that you've so far worked with?
Yes. Part of the other challenges that I would mention, there are quite many, but we also have just at the start that challenge of the acceptability.
Right.
We have a population that is so used to seeing the information in a book somewhere. Now telling them that now you need to move this information on a phone to the cloud, you get so many questions. Where is the cloud?
Where is the cloud?
It reminds me of the times when mobile money came in.
Right.
You find an old lady out there, she's used to seeing her cash notes. She touches them and she knows I have money. Now you're taking that away to tell her that your money is in a message on phone. You can imagine.
Drama.
Yeah, it's quite a huge challenge,
right,
but also a very interesting journey. I mean, it's interesting to watch an institution completely migrate. Sometimes it even takes a year to have them fully migrate, because we normally set aside like a month, but them fully throwing away the books, the papers, and moving digital, it's a process that the institution has to accept, the management of the SACCO has to buy into and start operating like that. But at the end of the day, many of them appreciate it because it makes it much easier, less bulky. They tend to get more office space, because imagine someone saving papers and books for the SACCO for 5 years,
yes,
ends up being a pile.
Right.
But on the cloud, it's just on one machine, and even if a machine is stolen, tomorrow you buy another one, you still access it. So
yes,
yeah, it's an interesting journey, I want to say.
Beautiful story to witness, though.
Yeah.
I will come to you, Caroline, for you to share your challenges as well. Just paint a picture of what it was like when you are implementing or introducing the digital transformation and migration to your cooperative union. What challenges were faced?
Thank you so much. My challenge is similar to his, acceptability.
Right.
Even in teacher cooperatives, we are doing stakeholder engagement so that our rollout is seamless, right from the teacher, because now with our COP fund, we are telling them you must apply digitally. Use your phone to first of all validate and check whether you qualify. 2, stay in class. Now, they are already used to leaving class, going to the MFIs, going to the banks. So you find someone says, but I want to go to my bank. You say, no, use your phone. So acceptability is still one of our challenges. 2, for the cooperatives, as he has put it, majority still prefer having their files, physical files. So that migration from a physical file to a digital file is still a challenge in most of the cooperatives, but we are doing it dual. We encourage them to have both the digital files and the hard copy files. Thank you so much.
Right, now there is a comment coming through for you, Carol, and it's this is Okello Paul, who says Walimu has helped our teachers here in Lango region up to about 65%, and we are happy with Walimu and its management. And now we see a system, systems. What is the plan to teach us, the teachers, how to use these systems? Big ups to you, Walimu.
Oh, thank you so much, Okello. Currently, we have a program that is running across regions. We have already started in Ikumi district, where we are training stakeholders and onboarding teachers to access services using the digital platforms that the union has put across for the circles. For Lira, it is in early September. That's when we shall be in Lira, and we shall be training all stakeholders. All stakeholders, I mean the COW, the RDC, the LC5, the head teachers, including the teachers themselves. Being a government program, we needed to bring everyone on board to understand what we are doing, because our solution to our teachers is a one-stop solution. The teacher validates himself, the teacher asks for the loan using the gadget, and that is the phone.
Right.
Thereafter, the bank disburses, and the teacher gets a message without leaving the classroom. And that is the new solution we have brought. So, and we feel this solution, if rolled out successfully, will have a wider coverage, because teachers are across the country. We form 50% of the government payroll. Thank you so much.
Right. Now, somebody comes through. This is Isaac, and Derek, you had answered him. He had asked how you offer training and orientation, but he's also now asking for your contact. I believe that will be shared at the end of the show. But coming to you, Derek, how do you handle data privacy? and cybersecurity? In this case, as you handle cooperatives through the digital migration?
Okay. With data privacy and then security, it's pretty much a wider topic, but it starts with most times with us, the users.
All right.
You see, for you to have your data secure, it's not just about the platform or on the cloud where it's stored. Of course, we use secure Amazon servers where we store that data, but you will find that most breaches start from the gadget, from the client, from the end user itself. So again, still during these sessions, we have part of our onboarding package or training package. We have a section where we just lecture them about data security and privacy, how do they set their passwords, how do you use your computer, because it's just about practice. You know, you leave your computer open, you walk out, it's not locked, someone can easily access it and access the customer's data. Now that's already a breach. Us as the service providers may not really do so much about that. Right. But what we have to do, what we're obliged to do, is to offer that sensitization right at the start on how do you set a secure password, how do you use your device, what happens when you, let's say, you lose your laptop or you lose your phone, what do you do next? It's just the same process as with the banks. You know, as you lose your ATM or you lose your laptop, you get in touch with the bank. But of course, lately we've set up the two-factor authentications where it's not easy for any third party to access one's device when they are not in access with it. But also us as the clients or as the end users, we also need a lot of sensitization, and we try to do that at the start, but it's a daily practice that someone has to live in. Yeah.
Good morning, Uganda, and the guests in studio. This is James from Ginger. Do you also offer employment opportunities to those that have been trained? This is to you, Derek.
Okay. Well, that's a tricky one, but of course, with the employment opportunities, we are an African-based company, and we still employ Africans.
Right.
Whenever, as we expand, right now we're operating from the West in Mbarara and in Kampala, but as we expand, of course, we recruit, we advertise, and of course, work with the locals in those communities, because it makes it easier for us to penetrate those areas.
Yes.
But beyond that, I think the employment part sometimes happens so much at the cooperative, because we normally find a cooperative with already their staff. What we bring on board now is to equip them and make them more skilled, and often we offer even certificates when someone has used the platform for a longer time, and we assess and we see that they are comfortable with the platform. We offer them certificates that sometimes they can still even use in their future endeavors. So what we do mainly is to equip them with an extra skill that we found them when they are not tech savvy. They cannot use, they've never used the digital banking platform before, but now we equip them with that knowledge. We believe that helps someone, move up in life and also find any other employment in any other institution.
Right.
There are some I've personally trained before, I've worked with, and they have moved from cooperatives, from MFIs, and then they have crossed over to banks, because they captured some knowledge and they became pros at using these digital platforms.
Interesting. 0709602592. We are looking at a digital migration and innovation in cooperatives. As every Wednesday, we have conversations in the field of the cooperative movement, and I will come to you, Carol. What support do cooperatives need from the government and partners during the digital migration?
Thank you so much. With the experience I have, currently there is heavy lifting for cooperatives that is needed.
Right.
Government needs to inject in money, one, to first of all hire the experts like Wakandi to digitalize all the cooperatives, especially now that government has embraced PDM, Emyoga, they all need to go digital. For Walim in specific, I want to utilize this to show you our self-service machine. Walim has put 3 options for teachers. The first option, you use the link to log in and ensure that you get the service. The second option, you are helped using an app. But the third option is a self-service machine. Now, these machines are quite expensive for our cooperatives, and yet they are the best, because a teacher or a farmer or a cooperator just walks to their circle and gets the service on his own with a little help of the agent or the manager. So government needs to inject a lot of money in, one, hiring tech companies to digitalize all cooperatives. 2, we need also help in the areas of internet. Running these tech apps needs a lot of internet. That means MTN needs to almost slice to zero the cost of internet for cooperatives, just for maybe 10 years, the way government did when they were handling taxes.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Right. And let me just engage a couple of your comments. Good morning, Uganda. I do appreciate all the guests in the House for their efforts that they are putting into cooperatives. I do encourage the public to embrace cooperatives. This is Odara Vincent from Tororo. And thank you, Julie, for the program. This goes to Walimu Union. Carol, at first, like the law is teachers, I think you meant that at Carol, at first, like the law is teachers' circles were registered on probation. And then later to union offered to register them, the union offered to register them permanently, but again, some were put to probation. Again, there is a circle that didn't get back the retrieved documents like certificate and bylaws. What are the chances to get them from the union for another trial? This is Nwakahuma Charles from Fort Portal. Carol, do you make sense of this question?
I can make sense of it. 1,
Yes.
Walimu does not register cooperatives.
Right.
It is the register of cooperatives. 2, a cooperative under provisional registration means it is on trial for 2 years. For it to go to the next stage of permanency, the registrar should be satisfied that it has fulfilled all the requirements to move to the next level. So it's not Walimu that registers, neither makes cooperatives probationary.
All right. Hopefully, Nwakahuma, you've been answered. You've got a bit of a picture from Carol's submission. Let's come to you, Derek. What is Wakandi's vision for the future of cooperatives in this digital transformation?
Yeah, our vision spans across Africa, and we envision a continent where we have all the customers, all the members to these cooperatives fully digitized,
right,
to the extent where they have access to all the financial services. We call it inclusion. And able, you see in Europe, you find that one does not need to bring collateral, does not need to carry so much to go access a loan. I'm happy that so many institutions now have picked up this practice. Even myself now, I can easily get a 2 million loan on my phone without walking to any institution or to offer any documents. Now that only happens through digitization. And if you look at part of our challenges in Africa, if you span across even to the other countries, one of our challenges is the lack of access to finance. Look at a farmer out there, in the north or in the east. It's right now the planting season. They are not registered with any bank, but they need access to inputs. They need to buy items for them to plant. Now they've never registered with any bank. If at all they even go now, they would now require a lot of security for them to access a loan.
Right.
But imagine a situation where a farmer just pulls out their phone, even on their feature phone, dial *16 something, access their circle and be able to access a loan without necessarily providing any security or collateral. They would still be able to get what they need planned, and at the end of the day, the economy is improved. So that's what we envision at the end of the day, seeing an economy where everyone is included in the system and not any left out at any one point.
Right. Let's look at about maybe the next, 3 years, right?
Yep.
AI is a thing right now.
Yeah.
AI, mobile wallets, blockchain.
Yeah.
How do you think they could influence the cooperative movement in the next few years?
I think they are already influencing it a lot. Even when you get to the point of, let's say, I wrote a paper about credit scoring for Tier 4 institutions when I was doing my master's. So if you look at how we can use AI into that to, just simply credit score someone. Right now, if you don't have a financial card, you may not easily get your credit score, isn't it? You can't get your credit report.
Right.
But with this digitization, anyone out there could be able to access a financial report, and still that could be utilized. I mean, we could utilize AI to do that, you know, skimming through that data and being able to produce a credit report for someone in just a few minutes. I think the future is just interesting for this sector, and yeah.
Right. But let's also look at the flip side of the coin when it comes to the conversation of AI. It's still a tough conversation, I must say, even with the younger generation. How much more would it be for a cooperative movement, of which it has, cooperative movements have a mixture of generations, the older and the younger. With the younger, maybe, but with the older, who you find are the people who are running these cooperatives. How easy will it be to convince them about AI running most of and it's where we are going. AI is taking over most of everything.
Yeah, well, most of the interesting things are never that easy. For me, it's an exciting journey that I would look forward to. I mean, still back in the day, it was hard to convince my grandmother out there to, you know, get a smartphone. But right now, you still find them on Snapchat taking selfies, you know, the elderly. So I see, of course, it will be a challenge at the start, but most times change is inevitable. And if you embrace it with, of course, a lot of effort from us, the stakeholders, from institutions like Walimu, from UCA, from the other cooperatives, I think it's something that we can adopt and we stand to benefit quite a lot from.
Right. Now let me engage a couple of the comments. Good morning, Uganda. I really appreciate what you people are doing. I wish everybody from Uganda would be like you. Thank you for that compliment. And you say thank you all. May God bless you. And your name is Isabella Hope Achola from Botaleja District, Busore Sub-County. And thank you so much, Isabella, for being on the show. Okay, Okello, you say your question, I think your question was answered by Caroline, and that what you had asked was the fact that actually you are giving a vote of thanks to Carol for the fact that Walimu has helped teachers. So yeah, I think you should send your question so that we are able to answer that. Now somebody else comes through and you send a voice note. We are unable to play voice notes, so please type it so that you are served better. Good morning, Julie. This is Emma Isaac. My question goes to Derek from Wakandi. Most cooperatives are willing to go digital, but the prices for these softwares are high. What strategies are they employing or putting in place to help cooperatives overcome the challenge of high software costs?
Yep, I was pretty much waiting for that. Yes. It's an interesting question. I would have been surprised if it was not raised.
I guess Carol will give us her experience on the cost side of things, but first tell us, yes. Yeah,
but at Wakandi, what we've tried to do is to partner with several other players on the market. Because if you look at, as a service provider, if we go out currently to market and we're trying to make profits off selling the product, it's impossible. We've tried it before, I've tried it with, in other places, it has been impossible. Because the target population that we're looking at, the SACCOs, they are not, normally when you look at the SACCOs, they charge interest rates which are very minimal compared to the MFIs in the city centers, the money lenders. So the SACCOs barely have that much to invest into such platforms. Now, and these are our target audience that we want to serve at the end of the day. So what we've tried to capitalize on is to partner with other institutions, like banks, like insurance companies, and other international companies, like you would mention any others that subsidize the cost for us, so that we are able to extend this service to this population at a much reduced cost. Because at the end of the day, once we digitize these institutions, the cooperatives, even the banks now benefit. Now they get to understand that, okay, there is that institution, they are now digital, so we are able to lend to them. So that's what we've tried to do, is to, through partnership, we've tried to just try and subsidize the cost to a much, much lower cost that even such institutions can afford.
Some of the partnerships you've had, has the government been a part of it, as well as regulatory bodies, you know, to just scale the digital adoption?
Yeah, we have an MOU with UCA, and we registered with all the others, AMFU, so those are the bodies from the government. But at the end of the day, for the insurance companies, because again, this is a population that they could reach out to and extend services to. But if they don't know about them, then it's hard for them to even reach out to them.
Right.
So through such partnerships, we are able to extend even such services to them at a much reduced cost.
All right. Coming to you, Carol, what would you advise? What advice would you give cooperatives that are trying to engage into the digital transformation era?
My advice to cooperatives is to embrace partnerships. They need to partner. What I mean is cooperatives need to work with the big companies that are already making profits and have better platforms for them to fit in. Based on the first question that you asked, what about the cost? For us in Walimu, the cost has been subsidized. Our members do not pay for the platform that we have put. They only pay for their airtime and their internet services. So for us, we are a big partner to the teacher cooperatives. They do not pay, they only pay for their internet.
Right.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for the program. I'm Philip Amanyire, watching live from Chibito, Bunyangabu. I just appreciate the program. Thank you so much, Philip, for being on the show. Good morning, cooperators. We are stressed with internet in rural areas. Anyway, how digitalizing could help reduce this challenge? How could digitalizing help reduce this challenge? This is Ntamshobora Emmanuel from Chendangara area, Cooperative Society, Chitagwenda District in Mahuro Town Council. And this is obviously yours, Derek.
Thank you. Well, the telecoms have tried their best to extend their signals to as far as they could. But for us, the service providers, the system service providers, we've taken this a step further. We understand that in some areas, internet is a challenge. That's why we've extended our platforms to even be usable on feature phones. There you don't need internet. It's USSD. Just the way you make a call, the way you use your mobile money, you can still do a deposit, you can still register with a SACCO, you can still make a withdrawal. So that's the other innovative idea that we came up with, to still extend services in areas where the internet is still a challenge.
Right. Good morning. My question goes to Walimu. How can you elaborate more on the security of the digital platforms? This is Lokwang Bernard from Kapedo, Karenga districts. Over to you, Carol.
Okay, thank you so much. As Walimu, we have partnered with Payroll Consults Africa to cover that risk, because we know our membership is wider and we needed a strong tech company that can absorb that risk. So that risk has already been catered for, and the company has already put in place all the safety measures that are needed.
Right.
Yeah?
Yes. Thank you so much. And another question that comes, actually this is more of a greeting. Praise King Jesus so much, and good morning all of you there. Good morning. Thank you so much for reaching out. Derek, if digitalization is a development and you target SACCOs, how do you classify that SACCOs that you target? Can PDM and Emyoga SACCOs qualify? Still, Nyakahuma Charles from Fort Portal.
Yeah, pretty much they all qualify. All Tier 4 institutions with Tier 4 and even beyond, sometimes Tier 3 as well. But Tier 4 institutions just include SACCOs and then cooperatives and MFIs. So PDM, Emyoga, they all fall under the same category. As long as they are reaching out to the communities, they are doing savings, they are doing loans, they are doing shares to the communities. That's all the population that we serve.
Right. So. About the cooperatives, I came in a little bit late, and I might have missed at the beginning, but I'm asking the question. It's quite simple. It's quite a simple one, but quite curious. Can you elaborate more about how they have, I think cooperatives have helped this country in the long run? That would be a question for Carol.
Thank you so much. I want to be specific to teacher cooperatives. One, we are trying to reduce absenteeism of teachers using the cooperative model. With the digitalization that we have embraced, teachers are able to concentrate in class and be served in their phones.
Right.
That is one. Two, teachers are setting up income-generating activities besides teaching. This lowers the stress levels within them. But also, we are also contributing to the economy. Soon, we are going to begin value addition of our products. and that will attract in taxes and other sources of revenue for the government. And above all, we are contributing to food security. You know, food is key.
Right.
And since we are now going to work with OWC, our children will be able in future to eat well at school, at least have an egg and a cup of milk. So cooperatives are doing a lot besides what Walim is doing.
Right. Now, the final question will be coming to you, Derek. And it's interesting, is it possible to have cyberbullying in this system of the cooperative movement with digital migration?
Pretty much not possible at all. It's
Right.
not an open platform.
Right.
Each institution accesses its own data, so it's secure to its own, so there is no, not even a member to an institution can view the other person's statement or data. So there is no space for cyberbullying. It's just the same as the way you have a bank account. You can't know my bank balance and so as the other.
Right.
So you just access your account, make a deposit, a withdraw, and still just be able to access the services that you would access from a bank.
Right. Thank you so much for being on the show. I will come to Kirai Caroline Atai, who is the General Manager of the Walimu Cooperative Union, to give us her parting shots.
Thank you so much for, first of all, inviting me and Walim in particular to this show.
Right.
I want to thank the government of Uganda for listening to the teachers and for appropriating funds whenever we need for our cooperatives. I want to thank all the key stakeholders in the digital world, especially Wakandi. They are doing a great job. I want to thank SACONET. I want to thank NCBUCO, Payroll Consults Africa. But above all, there's a heavy lifting that has been done by MFIs under the umbrella of UCLA and UBA. Those are the banks. Banks, together with MFIs, have done a lot of heavy lifting for the cooperatives in Uganda. Most of the costs have been taken by the banks, especially those who do payroll lending. I want to thank public service and everyone who has been able to support the cooperatives. Thank you.
Right. And over to you, Derek Kalunda, the Operations Manager at Wakandi, Uganda. Your parting shots.
Yes, thank you. My parting shots to the public out there is pretty much to understand that digitization is no longer a luxury. The world has changed. There is a lot of evolving happening, and most times we look at it as a cost. But if you do a clear kind of breakdown, it's in most cases a saving. I've visited institutions and we've done mathematics at them to see how much they spend on their stationery, how much paper they buy a week, and how much they use on that vis-a-vis the cost of internet just for them to have their data saved in there. So in the long run, if we embrace it all together, it brings about a saving culture across board. And these benefits are not just to the institutions or the cooperative itself, but the benefits cut across even to the customers, to the members saving in these institutions. Imagine a situation where, let's say, you have to move 3, 5, 10 kilometers to access your cooperative's offices to do a saving or access a loan. You know, and one would tell you, okay, internet cost is high, or probably if I do it via mobile money. But the cost, you would probably spend about 10,000 Uganda shillings vis-a-vis doing that on your phone. So you have saved both time and money to access this institution. And again, you are served much faster. Imagine the time you would spend in a queue lining up just to withdraw 50,000 shillings or 30. Yet you can still access this off your phone, in your bed, or at the comfort of your workspace. These people have businesses that they are doing. So at the end of the day, that's why I say that digitization is no longer a luxury, but it's the way to go for us to save and develop our economies and you know, get to that level that we want to get as a country and a continent at large.
Right. Thank you very much, Derek, for coming through, as well as Caro. It's been such an informative conversation indeed. And I'm closing off with indeed your comments, just appreciating the show, very informative. Digitalization is the way to go. Building the mindset of masses is key in its success. This is Kisinga Oriem Kitgum District. And one final one. Thank you for the show, Julie. This is Douglas, and you are watching from Wakiso. You say, I personally appreciate UBC TV for broadcasting Oh, the Chan tournament. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being on the show. In a special way, we cannot not close this without giving a huge vote of thanks to the Uganda Cooperative Alliance, the host pulling this cut and bringing all of this information to you for you to unlearn, relearn, and learn as well. Good morning, Uganda. This is it from me. Robert Chirabonyo will be coming back with Good Morning Uganda Extra. For now, God bless you.
Live